Guys, how are you? Welcome back. Another video. Patreon.com/real macro. Come down, click, follow, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. A lot of good stuff. All right. A lot of good stuff. All right. So let's get started hither. All right. So what's happening in the markets? Yes. And you all think like, oh my God, it's down 20%. That's a lot. No, it's not a lot. Okay. We're only now beginning to sell off. Okay. So what I'm going to do in this video, I'm just going to go back in time because I've been posting this for free on TradingView, and I like TradingView. Why? Because TradingView allows me to post my trades live, third party, time stamped, price stamped, and then whatever happens, that's what happens. Okay? I'm either right or I am wrong. So that's why I like it. I want people with skin in the game. Good. So let's start with Tesla. Why don't we start with Tesla? Because I know a lot of guys are like, oh, with the Tesla and the Tesla, we're going to buy Teslas. Right. So I called the top in Tesla in December 12th, 2024. And I said, oh, this one is going down. Double top. Boom. Wow. That's very good. And you think it's done going down? Nope. It hasn't even begun to go down. All right. Let's take a look at what else? Oh, okay. So stocks. How many hours of your life do you need to spend to buy one contract of the S&P 500? 167. What does that tell you? All-time highs. Markets are extremely expensive. Okay, and kaboom. Magic. Magic. There you go. All right. So, you got to come down and follow me on TradingView. Good stuff. Let's take a look at Nike. All right. Now, Nike, I published this one May 9th, 2022. May 9th, 2022. You're like, oh, what does that have to do with today? Whoa. Look at the drop here. Okay? It went from 124 to 82. And then it bounced. So why did I click this one? Because it would maxed out. Full employment. You need Martians to come down with a job and wages to go out and consume. We were maxed out, and I'll show you that in a minute. Right? And sure enough, what's happened to Nike? Game over. All right. And remember, I'm a macro trader. I don't buy today and sell it in 3 minutes, and I made a 0.5%. And nope, I like big trades. Forget about the Indian rupee. Let's get to the juicy stuff. All right. So when you see that credit, private bank credit, starts to flatten out, you're at max employment. Or something else is wrong, but typically you're at max employment. And you can see that since 2022, bank credit has gone flatlined. Well, what about U.S. debt? Right? So that's bad juju. When private money is not growing, you're somewhere you don't want to be. I love this one. This was January, I think, no, December, if I'm not mistaken. November 4th. And I said, look, double top, NVIDIA. No, but AI, you don't understand. It's AI. Yeah, Maybe you don't understand AI. Double top, call the top, and look at that. Kaboom. Kaboom. Collapse. 140 down to 101. I think it went even lower. 95, I think it is. 94. I saw 94 today. So another great call there. Before NVIDIA, it was AMD, right? Always the weaker stocks are going to go first. And that was January 23, 2024. So almost a year before. I said, look, double top. And it's actually a head test, but it's still double top. Boom. Jeez. Oof. Ugh. No, but you don't understand. It's AI. Right. Maybe you don't understand what AI is. Okay, so got the top in AMD, got the top in NVIDIA. Um, and here's another one. Deposits all commercial banks and U.S. debt. Look at that. Look at deposit at all commercial banks. Flatline. And look at U.S. debt. Going to the moon. All right, tax cuts. Look at that. The amount of profits that they made and tax cuts. Look at that. You don't want those things. That's not going to help you. What else? Tesla again. Another way to show the same thing that, hey, we topped out. We're done. And sure enough, kaboom. And you think this is, everybody thinks like, okay, we've bottomed, we're going to start, everybody's going to start buying Teslas and some glue so they can put it together. Little Tonka toys for Uber drivers. But it's not. It hasn't even begun to start to sell. In fact, the whole market hasn't begun to start to sell, even though we're down 20%. And I'll explain to you later why. So Tesla, we got that right. All right. So here's the point I want to make. This is all employees to total population. We topped out, okay, and it started to roll over. If you don't have growth and total employment relative to the population, how are you going to grow revenues? How are you going to go out and consume, grow profits for companies? You're not. And that's why I shorted Nike a while back, 22 I guess it was. And that's why everything started to top out. Now, the fact that we ended up with this stupidity with tariffs, different story, irrelevant. In fact, I had said prior to Trump being elected, it doesn't matter if it's Trump or Kamala, we're going to end up in a recession soon. The problem is that I didn't know that Trump is an idiot to this extent, where he'll just shoot himself in the head. Okay? Oh, he said shooting in the head. No, I'm not saying shooting in the head. That he would shoot himself. Okay? He destroyed the whole entire economy. It didn't work in 1930. It's not going to work in 2025. Okay? So we've only begun to start to sell off. So get ready. Get ready, because there's no government coming to print and save the markets. There's no Fed that's going to come in, save the day by lowering rates, quantitative easing. There's none of that. There's no FDIC that's going to come and save the day. Okay? It's not coming. Sorry. There's no one to come to save you. So nobody cares that the market is down 20%. See, everybody thinks we're in this buy the dip market. And I've said this before. Sorry. When this raging bull market began in 2009, somebody was 25 years old. Today, they're 40, 41 years old. The only thing they know is buy the dip. They don't know anything else. They've never seen a bear market. The other thing I would say is even the older ones, like me, who have seen bear markets and were cognitive enough to trade them, because it's one thing to have lived it and another thing to have traded it, and cared enough to take notes and pay attention. Even those guys, they don't understand that there's no one coming to save you. Not even Trump. If tomorrow he comes out and says, look, no more tariffs. You think it's over? Nope. Why? Because Trump and the MAGAs have been pounding away at destroying trust in government. Which means what? Destruction of faith in democracy. If you don't have trust in government, you're not going to have trust in democracy. Okay? There's not going to be trust in the economy. There's not going to be trust in the stock market, in anything. Trust is like glass. If it's broken, can't put it back together. And that's the problem. And every single day that goes by, it just gets worse and worse and worse and worse. Okay? There's going to be more people unemployed. Well, look at the jobs number today, 275, and nobody cares about March and 275. Everybody is forward looking. Okay? And I said about a couple of weeks ago, we're going into a recession. Okay? And there's no one coming to save you. You know, trust cannot be granted, nor can it be taken. It may only be lost. So you're not going to go out and buy trust, no matter how much money you print. All right. So we're going to go into a recession. It's going to be ugly, and I'm telling you, this market just starting to sell off. You'll see it down 75%. You think I'm joking? I'm not. All right, a little bit of Doge stuff. All federal employees to the population is at historic lows. So what are we firing? Where are you going to get that $6 trillion with tariffs and gutting government fraud and waste and all this bullshit? You're not going to do it by firing little Joe Schmo. It's not going to work. This is just reality. Okay. All right. Bitcoin to gold. Look, Bitcoin hasn't fallen the last couple of days. Okay, but it's breaking down and it's going to go much lower eventually. Okay. I issued a get the fuck out of gold today. All right. It's the ultimate risk off trade, and that's why I said get out. Made 50% on that. Beautiful. Here it is. This one I called, hey, you should go out and buy gold. Peter Schiff, love him. Yep. Ron Paul. Nice 50% gain, but now time to get out. This is when the selling is really going to start. Transportation. It's cracking. So there's the crack. We had a warning back here. Second time's a charm. Boom. Bye-bye transportation. Another one got right. Here's the NASDAQ relative to the money supply. Very, 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 very expensive. Extremely expensive. I was warning, guys, this is so expensive. Right? If you're on TradingView, you would know that. Boom. Or if you're a subscriber, patreon.com/realmacro. Click, like, follow, subscribe. All right. So, kaboom. Straight down. Now, Target, another retailer, broken a 50-year support line. Right there. What happened? Kaboom. Very good. Another great call. So it's call after call after call after call after call. Right? I also said dollar, signaling danger. Okay? Anytime the dollar comes above this line here, okay, bad shit happens. Bad shit happens. Guess what? Bad shit did happen. Kaboom. Straight down. Alright? Showing red, but bad shit. And sure enough, bad shit did happen. Alright, Euro US dollar. This one was a little bit more tricky. So I'm pointing to the upside, and it broke and then went straight up. Another good call. But this one was a harder one. Okay. What else? Small caps. Remember, small caps, U.S. domestic, highly leveraged, a lot of debt. Okay. Breaking, double top, breaking down here, crack. Boom. Glory. Another good call. Okay, Europe versus the U.S. It's been outperforming. It cracked once, cracked twice, and guess what? It's still doing better than the U.S. So, good for that. What else? All right, EU defense versus US defense, and I pointed this out. Look, it's just doing much better than the US. Okay, and sure enough, it has held up much better. So you're better off being an EU defense rather than US. Good. All right, here's another one, another recession call. Okay, a lot of guys try to pin fucking recession for like 4 years or something that I've been calling. I haven't called recession once until recently, a couple of weeks ago. So what happens is it starts to bunch up, all rates bunch up all together, and then once a recession hits, they start to fall and they start to fan out, right? Just like you've seen before. Look at that. Fanning out, starts to fall, starts to fan out on the way down. So how is that working out? Kaboom. Starting to move down. Now this one is tricky because we could end up in stagflation. So the question is, are we going to crash the economy faster faster than the tariffs? If it crashes slowly, then we're going to end up with a stagflation scenario. If it goes kaboom, then we're going to not have a stagflation scenario. So stay tuned. Click, follow, like, subscribe. Patreon.com/realmacro. All right, Meta. Everybody's like, Meta, what do you mean Meta? No, that's a bullish thing. Yeah, okay, whatever. Kaboom. Another great call. Magic. How about Google? No, come on, Google, that's a great stock. It's one of the Mag 7. Poof. Another great call. NVIDIA, as I said, we called the top on this one. Woohoo. Right, rounding top. Kaboom. There it goes, 94. 94. Yep, another great call. Regional banks. Okay. So Head and Shoulders, nice big, started to crack down. And sure enough, I got that one right too. Kaboom. All right. Apple hasn't cracked yet. And this one I violated my own rules a little bit because I front run it a little bit. But it's going to happen eventually. All right. So get ready for the crack. We're still waiting for this one to start to break down, but it will. All right, this one, I only got 2 likes on this one. I'm very upset about that. Such a great call. This is, come on, it's Royal Caribbean. This is such a capital intensive, economically sensitive stock. How could you not like this? This is a great call. Kaboom. Magic. What else? SMCI. I got the first one. I called the top on this one, the first one. And there you go. This one was initially called April 4th, a year ago, 2024. And kaboom. Well, it split. That's why it looks like that. It wasn't that bad. But nonetheless, it did fall apart. Okay. So I called the top on that one. But now, a year later, it's got a great setup for another move to the downside. And are you serious? You got that right too? Yes. Making money on that too. OJ. All right. OJ, double top. All right. Now this one is a little tricky. It did fall apart. The problem is it went a little bit higher. It happens. I won't call that one a good one. Small caps. I think I mentioned that. Head and Shoulders, breaking down, 2 cracks, 2 warning signs. Kaboom! Yep. I think I mentioned that before. All right, gold. All right. Get the fuck out. GTFO. There it is. Okay. So wait for this one. It's going to take a while. It's going to break the top. If it breaks the top here, it's going to break the bottom here. And this is the ultimate risk-off trade. And Spotify. Eiffel Tower pattern in the making. Lower high, M pattern coming down. Magic. Magic. Okay. So you kind of get the gist of things. Okay. So remember, there's no one coming to save you. There's no FEMA that's going to be coming. No helicopters or little boats. No little, come on down. We'll save you. Nope. There's no Fed that's going to save you. There's no money printing that's going to save you. Money printing. There's no other government that's going to come in and save you. There's no humanitarian aid that's going to come save you. We're on our own. Trust is broken. Glass is broken. Can't put it back together. These MAGA Trump bots that I call them screwed the pooch. They're going to beg for trust in government when it's all said and done. Ain't going to be there. And the selling is just beginning. Remember that. You're going to get some bear market rallies, of course. Okay. Maybe not, but you will. Don't start picking bottoms, making lists. Don't waste your time. Don't trade in and out. Take your money, run. Just run. Save yourselves. All right, guys. Take care. Smile. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.